Hi everyone, this is Lars, and I thought I would give a short presentation of my export to EPUB extension for Inkscape, and to demonstrate what you can do with this extension, I've made this beautiful little book about the penguin Ping Ping. This extension also supports some scripting and other stuff, so I will try to demonstrate this as well. So I've also tried to make this accessible, at least a simple way of adding accessibility, which is that you can actually use your tab key to experience the publication, even though you might be have some kind of, let's say, sight impairment or something. So I'm now going to tab Ping Ping Takes a Dip, a very short and very cool story, and turn the page and tab again. A bright and yellow sun shines down on a glittering landscape on the South Pole. By a small hole in the ice stands a little penguin. And then I tab again. The penguin's name is Ping Ping, and he is getting ready for his dip. And tab again. Ping Ping jumps high in the air and lands in the freezing cold water with a splash. Exciting, right? So let me show you how I did this. Just a second. Okay, back again. So here we are now in Inkscape. And for those of you who don't know Inkscape, Inkscape is an SVG editor. It's comparable to applications such as Adobe Illustrator. It works with vector graphics, and especially for Inkscape, it's native SVG. So everything you do in Inkscape is directly viewable on the web. Normally, Inkscape do not have a concept of pages, and in this case we're trying to make a fixed layout ebook. So for this purpose, what I've decided is that each root layer that you can see here is going to be considered a page by the extension. So if you can see here, I have my cover page, and then I have a layer on top of that, which is the dip scene, so to speak, or the dip content document, which is going to be exported as a content document. And I actually also have another scene, which is called Fishing for a Friend, which I might show you later. Just to show you how easy it is. This is actually without, if you didn't add any, exciting stuff like animation or sound or anything like that, interaction, you would just go here when you're done with your document. You would just go to export and then go to export to EPUB. You would then get some options. It would ask you for the project folder. This is where your SVG is, and where you optionally have what's called a resource folder, and this is just something that I came up with. This is where you can keep all your fonts and your images. If you have bitmap images, you can have your sounds or external scripts and stuff. And then you tell the extension where to save the EPUB and then what to call it. I also have a convention that you can check here, which is to treat the first layer, the bottom layer, as the cover of the EPUB. But in this case, I don't do that. And I also have an option here to wrap the SVG in HTML. And then you just press apply, and then the EPUB is saved, and you can try it. As you saw, I had some interaction and stuff. In this case, if you go to cover page, on focus, I'm going to switch this off. When I tabbed to the penguin, I had a small script that just added an event listener and said that once the penguin receives focus,
play a sound. And if you go into the document properties here for this particular document, you have something, a tab called scripting. And you see here, I've linked an external script called svg.js. I don't use it in this case, actually. This is something that I had for testing. But more interesting is the embedded script tag. Let me see where I put layer 1, maybe. Yeah, see here. So in this case, I just look up the penguin, which has an ID of penguin 6. You can set the, if I go over to objects here, in the cover page I have something called a penguin 6, and if I select that, you can see that the penguin is selected here, right? So I can go to text here, and it's going to select the text elements, but this is the penguin that we want. So I say, first get the penguin, and then I say, and I add it to a variable called ping ping, and I say, when ping ping receives focus, load and play this sound. And load and play is just a function that I have added that I use on every page to just get the audio and then play it once it's loaded. And the same thing goes for, I'm going to show the layers again. The same thing goes for the dipping page or document, is that I have event handlers that listen for focus on the sun. I have a event handler that listens to focus on the penguin, and also one for the pool. And this one is kind of fun, because once this gets a focus, it also moves our dear little penguin down into the pool. So, and it's the same kind of thingy here. If I go to this one, you can see that once the pool receives a focus event, I play the splash sound, I play my dialogue, and then I have a small function called take a dip. And take a dip just moves the penguin into the pool. And to get this matrix, I just first moved ping ping into the correct location in the pool, and then I copy pasted the transform matrix as it, and then I just rotate the arms so that they get upstretched, so that he looks enthusiastic about taking a dip. Yeah, so that's basically it, actually. It's super simple, and it handles the extension handles like fonts, external fonts, and all that jazz. Here, for example, this is the root project folder. I have a scripts folder where I, for some reason, have put my I put this image here. Remove that. I put the external script that I showed you before. I also have this resources folder, and here is where I keep my fonts, because I want this custom font to show up, and I want this font to show up. And if you place stuff in the resource folder, the extension takes care of adding them to the EPUB manifest and everything. Yeah, and what you get in the end, Ping Ping jumps high in the air and lands in the freezing cold water with a splash. It's a happy penguin. What's not to love? So, yeah, I'm going to share this code with you shortly. I'm just going to add some more comments to it, and then you can go play with it and make changes to it and so on. I'm also going to give a shout out to the EPUB library that I use for this. Thankfully, I didn't need to code this myself, because then I wouldn't have had time to do this. So it's called ebooklib, and yeah, it's a very neat Python library that helps you build an EPUB. It takes care of all the you know, all the DOM manipulations and stuff. So use this, it's kind of awesome. He also has a friend who is a seal. Yeah, but anyway, that's all for now. Have fun and see you soon.